It all started with a simple thought. I want to get to the other side of this moat. This seemingly simple task turned into the most ridiculous monster of a mission that required all of my wit, strategy, and skill. But after months of testing, I can finally tell this story. First, some basics, in case you are new. SmashKarts is all about smashing other cards while staying alive yourself. However, I have been playing this game in a very different way, testing its limits and going to seemingly impossible places. Then this map was introduced. While I did some nice stunts on this map, the outside ring seemed to be calling to me. I quickly confirmed that the outside ring was solid by placing a lob group on it, so in theory you can drive over it. Of course, you can't just jump over the moat. The closest I got was by jumping from this little platform here, using the end of the game speed bonus. But this was by far not enough. Then, a couple months back, I discovered that you can surf on the dead card of another player. For a full explanation of this, I have a link at the top, but in short, if you land on the side of a dead card and manage to stabilize yourself, you can use this body to surf. This works on normal land, but you can also do this on land that normally kills you. So, when we drop into the water here, we die, but if we can land exactly on the body, we can surf the bottom of this sea. Now, the sea bottom in this map is pretty far down. So, in order to land on the cart, you have to push the cart in like this. While falling, the cart rotates to the correct landing orientation. After some patient pushing and landing, I managed to land on my cart. Now, you can't actually see much in your own point of view, as the water is blocking the camera. But you can use the perspective of the corpse to get an idea of where you are. So, I crossed the moat towards the outside ring, and then I just went underneath. The hitboxes of the outer ring do not extend underwater, making this surfing pretty much useless. You can continue on surfing until you reach the end of the sea, and then until the end of the map, where you fall down in the endless pit of the game space. Now, I didn't give up so easily. If we look at the map, there is this gigantic mountain in the middle. This mountain is very tall, and if you could manage to get to the top somehow, you could maybe jump to the outside ring from there. The first thing I saw were the angles of this mountain. You can see that the top part is at a nice angle, which should be enough to drive on. The block below it is also not completely straight. I hoped to push up from the side, but the small space here did not allow for enough speed for a good push. Then I looked at the mountain underwater. If you drive down from this lowest block, the mountain's edge is at the same height as the water level. However, the second block seems to extend underneath the surface. So, if you can surf underwater to this edge and somehow climb out of the water, you can drive up the second platform. I started surfing from here and went forward to inspect the slope. And indeed, the slope of this block extends enough for me to climb on. But there is a problem. Even though I am very close, I can't just turn around and go up the slope. However, you can steer your kart by carefully hitting the edges of this mountain. In this way, I managed to position my kart in front of the slope. I went backwards, tried to turn, but without the vision, I lost control and crashed. Even though I failed here, I proved it was possible. and not after long I managed to climb out of the water on the other side of the mountain. I turned around, drove up, and yeah, the rest of the path on the mountain seemed blocked. If you check from the side, you can see that there is a small part sticking out that seems to prevent further access. I tried jumping past it several times, but all attempts failed miserably. Still, hope was not lost. If you carefully check from land, you can see that this mountain extends very far into the sea. I contacted the developers of this game and they shared this screenshot from the game engine. Here you can nicely see this huge back block, and, more importantly, the backside is at a nice angle. Before we surf there, we have to fix something else. While we could steer underwater by hitting the mountain's edges, there are no edges left if we go that far out. So we need a new solution to turn. I got back to testing on land and noticed that if you go back, the kart slowly turns to one side. If you go forward, it turns back. Now, this seems useless at first, but if you look carefully, you will see that you turn a little slower when you move forward. This is hard to see from this example, but stay with me. If we would go forward and backward often enough, you can in theory turn your kart, as you can see in this schematic. Now here for a real example. Here I went surfing on the C button and only went forward and backward for 45 minutes. And if I put the screenshots in a row over time, you can see that in this time we made a 90-degree turn. You might wonder why the camera is not moving with you as normally happens on land. This happens because the game thinks you are falling. This is best shown here at the secret cave in Snowpark. And just to check, yes, my name is still there. If we drive down here, we can get below the critical level. If we now turn our kart, we can suddenly see the front of the kart. As soon as we move up again, the camera recovers. So this is also what happens while we are surfing underwater. We know that we can turn now, and with a lot of patience, I managed to position myself in front of the back block. And then cross my fingers. We made it up, and now we can finally look at the other side of the mountain. You may not have realized, but the mountain has two arms, with a gigantic bay in the middle. From here, you can see that there's this strange block sticking out of the middle part of the mountain. Does that mean there were plans to create a playing area in this bay, or is this just an artifact of the map creation? I don't know. Of course, I had to climb the block on the other side as well, giving the same view but mirrored. Again, you can see the strange block. Unfortunately, there is no obvious path to the rest of the mountain, so I tried jumping to the outside ring from this block, but that is not enough. On the back block, you seem to be safe from everything. But who is that surfing there? Oh no, Rayday is coming! We planned to do a trick shot from the back block to the mainland, but that was a bit optimistic. However, the other way around seemed possible. It was very difficult to find the right spot to shoot from, as this tree was always in the way. But pro as Rayday is, he found a good spot to shoot from.
I mean, you know, it's such a far distance that the slightest variation. This is amazing.
Oh,
This
please,
is
please. Oh, no!
That was.
Oh, that was so close.
Oh my god.
Okay, then I think I know the perfect angle. Here it comes. This has gotta be it. Here.
Oh, seriously. Look, it's straight in my POV. Did you see that?
I went towards
So
your
cool.
camera. Okay, this I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. I'm feeling it.
It's like a jump scare.
Oh, you might get killed by splash damage.
No, it's direct hit.
Oh!
Not direct, but
Yeah, trick
still
shot.
sick
Yeah.
shot.
Oh, that's awesome.
You got it, man.
That's awesome.
That was a sick shot, and we did some more cool things, so definitely check out rayday's channel if you want to see more of our tests. Anyway, let's get back to parking. If you look closely, the high part of the mountain is a little tilted on this side as well, so I attempted to use that to my advantage, but this also proved unsuccessful. Then I had one last idea. If I could surf around this block into the bay, I could maybe reach the back of the middle mountain. It is not completely clear from here how steep this slope is, but I had to try it. I will save you the full journey, but if you patiently keep turning your way, you can reach the middle of the bay after a little over an hour of surfing. And when I got close to the slope, I saw that the slope extended underwater and that it was at an angle. There was only one thing left to do. Okay, are you kidding me? I got stuck exactly under that middle block. But when I did it again, I somehow made it up first try. After returning here a couple times, I realized how special it was. This slope is incredibly steep, and it is at the limit of what your kart can handle. You need to drive up at a small angle. If you drive up straight, your kart will just fall down. If the angle is too big, you will lose your grip and fall down as well. No matter, we are now at this middle block. From here you can explore the whole mountain top and climb both of the twin peaks. I'm fairly certain that this is the highest point you can get on any of the maps in the game. After some nice exploration, I had to make the jump, but then disaster struck. My recording software failed and I was fumbling to get it back to work again. Now remember that I had to spend close to 2 hours to get here, and after 2 hours every private game just ends. The clock was ticking and I had to make the jump. Luckily I had a cameraman recording, so at least I have some footage of the jump, even though the quality is not so high. 1 minute before the game ended, I jumped and failed miserably. The next day I got over this failed attempt. I took a deep breath and sat down to repeat this process. This time I was determined to get it. This time I would finally reach the outer ring. Enjoy the compilation. You can drive over the whole outside ring. At the back, the design is not so detailed, as this is not something players should be able to look at. If you hang at the back here, you can get the illusion that you are floating above the bow. Funnily enough, all trees are hollow as well. I spent a nice amount of time on the ring, but the 2-hour mark was getting close again, so I tried to do one last stunt. If you hang at the back of this ring, you can glitch inside the floor and fall off the ring in the most gracious way possible. Finally, the dream was reality. These gigantic mountains and the outer ring are conquered. Now you will realize that these parking videos are a lot of work to produce. So if you want to support my channel so I can keep doing what I do, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much for watching and see you in the next one.